Winter is coming again and the nights are getting cooler, so it's time to bring all my houseplants inside. A lot of my different plants needed trimming, dead material off, and I gave everything a really good, thorough watering. My wandering dude, my scilla, my jade plant, a lot of them needed trimming. I brought in my several different types of begonias, made sure to give everything a very thorough watering. And the last thing I needed to do outside was to trim up my citrus plant, water a pothos and bring that in, and my Christmas cactus, and then clean up the deck. Once I got everything in, it was time to find space for everything. So I pulled all of the plants off of the existing shelf and wiped that down, and then had to figure out the puzzle of fitting everything else back onto the shelf. I taped up a extra extension of the shelf there to hang some plants on, and then I wanted to figure out a method to hang my wandering dude plant. It's a good bit bigger than last time when I had it hanging. I put it in a larger pot because it's grown a lot over the last year. I tried a braided method, I tried a few different ways to get a nice hanging mesh, and I couldn't get it just right. So I ended up doing a knotted method, and I actually really liked this method. It felt very secure. I used parachute cord, and it felt very strong hanging up there, even wet and heavy. So the next step was to trim my cane begonia and put all the cuttings back in and fit it back in the corner. I watered all of my little succulents. I had to do bottom watering on all of them to make sure they got really thorough watered before I put them back on the shelf. Had to fit cactus in, and then I trimmed up my pothos and put the cuttings of the pothos back in the top of the pot, so hopefully it will grow more full. I had to move the shelf around a little bit to fit all the plants in, do a lot of thinking about it, puzzling, figuring out, moving things around, but eventually I got almost all the plants on the shelf here and in other places in the house. Then had to clean up the kitchen a little bit, and after all of this there was quite a bit of stuff that needed to be washed and dried, lots of pots and leftover dinner dishes. And finally, after I'd done all this, it took many hours to prepare all my plants for winter. So finally it was time to put the begonia elsewhere, turn out the lights, and go to bed.